While resting, Lu Sheng is greeted by a notification screen flashing with over 99 unread messages. Staring at this massive influx of alerts, he stretches his neck, enjoying how comfortable it feels to be back in his human body after dealing with his chaotic dark clone. He quickly realizes these persistent calls are coming from Aonong Turing, noting that this is actually the first time someone has tried so hard to contact him during his private cultivation. So, upon activating the call, a holographic projection of an apologetic Aonong Turing immediately pops up in his room. Quite unbothered by the intrusion, Lu Sheng casually asks the elf what has got him so worked up. Hearing this, Turing wastes no time and frantically explains that the Star Spirit Flower is in deep trouble, currently facing a massive problem that their current forces simply cannot handle. As the elf dives into a detailed explanation of the ongoing crisis, Lu Sheng just listens calmly from his bed. He quickly processes these details, getting a clear picture of the threat they face. To confirm the situation, he activates his sensory powers to scan the battlefield outside, seeing the ship's energy shield taking a heavy beating from pirate laser fire. Seeing the danger, he directly asks Turing if they expect him to step in and bail them out of this space pirate siege. Turing frantically confirms it, explaining that even Hai Jidao pointed out saving the ship is in their own best interest, since losing an immortal-level vessel would massively delay their arrival at the hunting bow. Furthermore, the elf eagerly adds that the Chamber of Commerce will also give them an insanely generous reward if they manage to pull through this. Hearing this, Lu Sheng finally agrees to step in, stretching his limbs and noting that cultivating in his room for so long has left him stiff enough to need a good warm-up. Meanwhile, over in the combat prep hall, Zai Yongchen is left completely speechless, unable to believe that they are putting all their hopes on a mere level 12. Consequently, the surrounding crew and fighters are equally bewildered, whispering in utter disbelief at the ridiculously low rank of their supposed savior. Outraged by this absurdity, Masha loudly protests, demanding to know if this is some kind of sick joke because no level 12 could possibly have the power to solve a crisis of this scale. But her injured father, Babuluo, immediately cuts her off, sternly calling her name to silence her disrespectful outburst. Still, a pouting Masha grumbles back to her father, stubbornly insisting that she isn't saying anything wrong. After all, as a top-tier genius among level 12s herself, she has a crystal-clear understanding of their combat limits and the massive, insurmountable gap that separates them from level 13s. Indeed, she knows they are currently facing 5 notorious level 13 pirates outside, beasts so powerful that it took 3 of their own level 13 masters just to trap one of them. Terrified and frustrated by this reality, Masha demands to know how a single level 12 could possibly make a difference against such a nightmare fleet. At the same time, Zi Yongchen is secretly seething as well, thinking that if anyone other than the legendary Hai Ji Dao had suggested this, she would have lost her temper long ago. Turning to the veteran warrior, a desperate Zi Yongchen begs Hai Ji Dao to stop playing around because their lives are literally on the line. But a sweating Hai Ji Dao firmly stands his ground, insisting he is completely serious and that Lu Sheng truly possesses the monstrous power to save them. Just then, sensing a powerful presence entering the room, Hai Ji Dao immediately spins around. His face instantly lights up with massive relief as he warmly welcomes Lu Sheng into the command center. At that moment, Zi Yangchen's eyes widen as she finally gets her first look at this supposed legendary savior. Hearing his name, a highly skeptical Masha and her father Babuluo also turn around to size up the newcomer. Then, the crowd of fighters silently parts as Lu Sheng calmly walks to the front, immediately commanding everyone's attention in the room. As he does, Masha immediately scoffs, muttering that he really is just a level 12 and wondering why everyone was making such a big deal out of him in the first place. But Babuluo quickly places a cautionary hand on his daughter's shoulder, warning her that things are not as simple as they look. Wasting no time, Hai Ji Dao briefs Lu Sheng on the situation, explaining that 5 veteran level 13 space pirates have deliberately targeted the Star Spirit Flower's voyage. When Lu Sheng asks if they have a plan to handle the siege, Hai Ji Dao admits that any strategy would require closely coordinating with the other fighters. He adds that the immediate problem, however, is that the crew clearly does not trust Lu Sheng's combat abilities, prompting him to offer to try and persuade them. Unfazed by their doubts, Lu Sheng tells him not to bother, declaring that since they don't have a solid plan, they will simply follow his instead. At this, a stunned Hai Ji Dao asks if he already has a plan in mind, while Aonong Turing enthusiastically cheers, amazed at how incredibly fast his master formulated a strategy. Lu Sheng then casually reveals that his plan is actually very simple. He is going to step outside of the spaceship and personally handle things. With a deadly serious expression, he coldly declares that he is simply going to crush all 5 of their enemies. This outrageous statement leaves both Hai Ji-dao and Turing completely floored, struggling to process that he truly intends to fight the enemy entirely alone. Sweating nervously, Hai Ji-dao warns that even though he knows Lu Sheng is exceptionally strong, taking on 5 level 13 space pirates at once is still way too reckless. Turing immediately chimes in, frantically urging his master that now is absolutely not the time to be stubborn or show off. Yet, gazing at the tactical monitor displaying the terrifying enemies outside, Lu Sheng remains completely unmoved. In fact, he coolly counters that if there weren't 5 of them out there to fight, he wouldn't have even bothered to leave his room in the first place. Hearing this, the other fighters in the room instantly laugh it off, calling his claim to single-handedly destroy 5 level 13s the most ridiculous, incomprehensible joke they've ever heard. Reluctantly accepting his resolve, a sweating Hai Ji-dao tells him to be careful and offers to immediately open the ship's exit docks for him. But Lu Sheng confidently stops him, suddenly unleashing a massive surge of purple energy and declaring that there is absolutely no need. This sudden, violent burst of power startles the surrounding fighters, leaving them completely off guard. Our boy then calmly states that he is perfectly capable of exiting the heavily shielded ship entirely on his own. So, activating his supreme spatial power, he wraps himself in a violent warp vortex, bending space and vanishing in a flash before their eyes. Staring at the empty air, a completely bewildered Hai Ji-dao and Turing can only scream in shock, utterly unable to comprehend how a level 12 just teleported right through an immortal level battleship's defenses.